The last battleship duel in history. This is the story of the last battleship duel in history, a classic naval battle that marked the end of an era. It was 1944 and the United States was making significant advances in the Pacific theater. To prevent American forces from landing in the Philippines, Japan urgently dispatched the Southern Fleet, planning a pincer movement with the Central Fleet to trap the American forces from both front and rear. However, due to American deception, the Central Fleet was delayed on the western coast, leaving the Southern Fleet to face the enemy alone. The Southern Fleet's journey. Upon detecting the Southern Fleet's movements, the United States immediately dispatched all available warships to intercept. The U.S. fleet comprised 6 battleships, 8 cruisers, 28 destroyers, and 39 torpedo boats. In contrast, Japan's Southern Fleet consisted of only 2 battleships, 1 heavy cruiser, and 4 destroyers. Despite the numerical disadvantage, the Southern Fleet remained confident. They believed in the strength of their 2 battleships, Yamashiro and Fuso, which were considered the most powerful in Japan's fleet, alongside the renowned heavy cruiser Mogami. The night assault. On the night of October 24th at 11 p.m., as the Southern Fleet entered the Surigao Strait, they were spotted by American torpedo boats. The 39 torpedo boats launched a surprise attack, dividing into 3 groups and enduring Japanese fire to launch their torpedoes. For 3.5 hours, they attacked the Japanese fleet but failed to score any hits. Despite the lack of success, the Americans gained valuable information about the Southern Fleet's position. Setting up the ambush. Armed with this intelligence, the U.S. forces set up a classic formation ambush at the mouth of the Surigao Strait. At 2:30 a.m., 5 American destroyers launched a second wave of attacks. By 3 a.m., the 2 fleets clashed. The first group of 3 destroyers approached from the southeast, launching 27 torpedoes under heavy Japanese fire before retreating. 2 torpedoes struck the battleship Fuso, crippling its mobility. Minutes later, another 2 destroyers launched 18 torpedoes from the north. The battle intensifies. At this point, the battleship Fuso began flooding extensively and had to withdraw southward. Meanwhile, the northern torpedoes hit a Japanese destroyer, causing a magazine explosion that sank the ship, leaving only 2 survivors out of 200 crew members. 2 more destroyers were hit but managed to stay afloat. Yamashiro was also struck by a torpedo but survived due to its sturdy build. However, as Fuso retreated south, it was followed by 2 American torpedo boats. At 3:38 a.m., Fuso suddenly exploded, breaking in half and sinking within 10 minutes, with only 10 out of 1,630 crew members surviving. The final confrontation. Unaware of Fuso's fate, the Japanese fleet continued to advance. At 3:53 a.m., they came within 26 kilometers of the American fleet, within range of the battleship West Virginia. The West Virginia opened fire, soon followed by the other 5 American battleships. Under intense fire, Yamashiro was set ablaze. The American cruisers and destroyers joined in, firing 5,000 shells in 80 minutes, mostly targeting Yamashiro, inflicting severe damage. Although Yamashiro fought back, its accuracy was low due to the lack of radar guidance. The devastation of Yamashiro. At 4:08 a.m., an American destroyer accidentally fired upon by its own fleet resulted in 34 casualties, causing the Americans to pause their attack briefly. Meanwhile, Japanese reinforcements were nearing the battlefield, but Yamashiro, heavily damaged and enraged, turned broadside to bring all its guns to bear, inadvertently making itself a bigger target. At 4:19 a.m., Yamashiro was hit by 2 more torpedoes from destroyers and, having sustained over 30 direct hits, sank with 1,626 crew members. The aftermath and retreat. Shortly after Yamashiro's sinking, the Japanese reinforcements arrived at the battle's edge. They found the heavy cruiser Mogami burning but still moving. In the confusion, a Japanese cruiser collided with Mogami. With no response from Yamashiro and fearing an ambush, the reinforcement fleet commander ordered a retreat, abandoning the burning Mogami. The end of an era. The U.S. fleet, preparing for a second ambush, noticed the Japanese retreat on radar and ceased pursuit as the Japanese Central Fleet approached from the north. Thus ended the last battleship duel in human history. The United States lost only 1 torpedo boat while sinking 2 Japanese battleships, 1 heavy cruiser and 3 destroyers, with nearly 5,000 Japanese sailors lost at sea. This battle signaled the end of the era of big gun battleships.